have a big update to my home lab. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, I'm just going to start unboxing it. Ta-da! Probably wouldn't have guessed. It's a server. Oh boy, this is heavy. I'm gonna have to turn this on its side. I might have to open the other side. It's stuck in there. Well, here we are. Wow. They packed it maybe a little bit too well. Look at all that. But they came here intact, so that's good. So about a week ago, I bid on this Dell PowerEdge R620. It's a 12-core server with, they said it comes with 192 gigabytes of RAM, which that'd be great for me because I am looking for a better virtual machine server. So I am about to go off to college, so it'd be nice to have services running at home, like more stuff. So that's what this is for. So it also comes with 4 hard drive bays only. They're 2.5 inch, and then there's 4 empty ones here. They also have, you can see on the top, that, they also have a 8 drive system and a 10 drive system, but this is only the 4 drive. I don't know, I saw it and it was a decent price, so that's what I went with. So, and it also came with rails, you can probably see, which was like a, I think a $40 value kind of thing. This server, when I was, because it was an auction, I made sure to pay what it was worth on a buy it now price. That was the most I was willing to pay. So I paid that and also got the rail. So it was a decent deal. So I guess we can go ahead and get this set up. I'll show you the front here. You probably saw it already, but there's also 2 USB ports and a VGA port and an SD card slot for the iDRAC. I don't know if that's for like flashing something. What does it say on it? V-flash? I don't know what that's for, but I don't know if that's the operating system or something for the iDRAC. The iDRAC is like, it's IPMI, Internet Protocol Management Interface, I think. So basically you can turn this server on and off, and I think some versions you can even mount ISOs to install operating systems. So that'll be very useful for when I'm off to college or whatever. So let's show you the back. So here we have the iDRAC Ethernet port, serial, which not many people use, but it's an option. VGA, 2 USB 2 ports, I think, and then 4 Ethernet ports, I would think, yeah. And then I think this one came with an extra Ethernet card, maybe. And 2 power supplies. That's the thing with servers. They gotta be redundant, so you got 2 power supplies. So we'll go ahead and plug all this in and start setting it up. One more thing before we start setting it up, I figured I'd show you the inside. So, like I said earlier, 12 cores. Since it's a 2 processor version, each core is 6, or each processor is 6 cores. And then we have 24 DIMMs of 8 gigabytes, which gives us 192 gigabytes. Hopefully, that's correct. I didn't actually check the math, but there's that. So here's that Ethernet card. We also have 2 more PCIe slots here. And it just pulls out. Yeah. Yeah. 2 16x PCIe slots. So we got that, and I can add extra stuff later, like a HBA if I want to add more hard drives, if the 4 is not enough, which I'm sure probably I'll need to at some point. But you can also add another like disk shelf if you want more storage. And I don't know, there's also hot swappable fans. Hopefully I'm not breaking this, and I'm not going to worry about it. But hot swappable fans, so there's that. So let's go ahead and not delay this any further. not sure if you can hear that, but I got a loud switch over there. Sorry about that. I don't have enough Ethernet ports right here, so but where I'll be putting it, I'll have enough power and Ethernet. With power, you don't want to see what the power looks like right now. But good thing, because of the power of video, you don't have to see it. I got a hard drive. This is a SAS hard drive. Normally what you would find in a desktop computer would be a SATA hard drive. This, I don't know exactly what the benefits are, but I know it, this drive spins faster than the faster SATA drives. This is 10K RPM instead of 7.2K. So you can see it came in a hot swap caddy. So I can just take out this blank here and stick this hard drive in. Maybe. I'm lucky. Okay, the table was just in the way. There we go. And I also have my USB stick here with, I believe Proxmox 7 is on here. It just has Ventoy on it, so it has a whole bunch of different images on it. So I guess we are ready to plug it in. This is going to be loud. And I'm probably going to take one of these power supplies out. Taking the one power supply out so it doesn't beep at me, hopefully. It might still beep at me, but... You ready? Maybe it's not going to be loud. One can hope. Probably should turn the monitor on. Oh, it's not going to post at all. Am I doing something wrong? I'm probably going to be back when I figure out how to turn this thing on. There we go. Here we go. Configuring memory. This is probably going to take a while. I don't know if you can hear me, but hopefully I'll be able to add subtitles later on. I'm probably going to speed this up if it takes a long time. Now it's fairly quiet. we'll see if it takes us into the BIOS or not, or if it tries to boot off the USB. Are you as confused as I? Is it loading VMware ESXi? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's a drive in here or something. Or maybe this drive I bought wasn't erased first. I would sure hope not, but not sure how much that I missed, but for some reason it's booting up VMware ESXi. It detected the 192 gigabytes of memory. I don't know where that came from. There might be a copy on this USB drive, but it should have booted up to a Ventoy menu first. Maybe the hard drive I bought had a version of it on there. I hope not, because they probably didn't erase it then, and that's not good for security. But in a little bit it'll probably give me an IP address and we can check this out. Alright, I figured out some mysteries. I figured out why this hard drive wasn't being detected. It didn't have a RAID controller. And I figured out where that installation of ESXi came from. I didn't know this, but it came with an SD card adapter. It has two SD cards in it. So, and I also got an upgrade. I can replace this DVD drive with a hard drive caddy, and I have an SSD here. So we will go ahead and turn this computer off and then start doing the upgrades. Alright, I unplugged the switch so it's not as loud. Go ahead and open up the cover here. Oh, and it's been about a week since I discovered that it had installed on it VMware ESXi. Still can't say that. We'll go ahead and start with opening the RAID controller, because that's probably the most important part. I did put a USB drive inside the machine and installed ESXi, an evaluation version of it. So I've been testing that over the past week. Now I can have extra space for my VMs, because right now I just have a, what do you call it, iSCSI on my NAS, and that takes up a lot of space on my NAS. My phone decided to stop recording when I was unboxing it, and my struggle of putting this in, so that's where the RAID controller is. Just figured I'd show you that, because you missed that. And I took the SSD out already, or out of its package. So, we'll be ready to put it in its caddy in the next clip. If I can get the top on of this. There we go. Alright, now we're going to open this hard drive caddy that goes in the DVD drive slot. This little cover on the front makes it look like a DVD drive. Oh, it even comes with a little screwdriver and some screws. That's nice. I mean, I'd need the screws anyway, but having a screwdriver is always a nice thing. Now we'll go ahead and install this. Go move the camera closer. Alright, I got the Kingston A400 SSD. I don't know if you can see that if the camera's focusing. 480 gigabyte SSD. So just have to line this slot up with this slot here. At least that should be how it is. There we go. And now just have to stick the screws in. Hopefully not lose them along the way because they're so tiny. Screws must be in the bottom. Looks like there's a little cover over them. Yep. Okay. Also a little bit of plastic on here. Go ahead and remove that. It's underneath the sticker. Maybe I won't remove that. Make sure the camera's still recording. And it is, but it's about to stop. There we go, now we just have to screw it in. Alright, there it is. Now we're just going to put the cover on the front. I don't know if I'll need to, there's some plastic on here. See if we can remove it. And put this on the front. There we go. Now we'll change angles so you can see me stick it into the server. We have to take the old drive out first, so we just push down on this. We have to take this cable off first, I believe. Not as simple as you would think. I'm gonna come back when I get this figured out. Alright, I got it figured out. I just unhooked from the motherboard. And I'm just gonna plug this one in. And get it back into the slot. Now we gotta route the cable back through here. Plug it back in. You can't see that, but now we'll plug everything else back in that I unplugged. This needs to plug back into the back plane. This needs to plug back into the control panel. There we go. Simple as that. Alright, now we should have a fully working server. Plug your ears. Detected our SSD. And it detects the RAID controller, so that's good. So there's our SSD there. And we'll go into the RAID controller and see if we can find the hard drive. We're in the RAID controller. Let's see if it'll detect my hard drive here. Sorry about the interruption. We were going into the RAID controller. Alright, here's the RAID controller configuration page, and you may notice it says no configuration present. I believe that either means it doesn't detect the hard drive or I'm not able to configure it, from what I can tell from the little bit of troubleshooting that I've done just now, like 30 minutes worth. It's been a couple hours since the last clip. From what I could tell on the internet is you have to have multiple of these hard drives because it has to be set up in a RAID. There's no other way to do it. You have to set it up in a RAID. So you can't set up a RAID with only one hard drive. So I'm going to be buying more hard drives in the near future, but I don't have the plan of doing that right now because I just spent a whole bunch of money on this and the one hard drive and the SSD. So I don't really know what I'm going to do about the hard drive. I've heard you can flash the RAID controller into IT mode, which lets you have the OS detect each individual drive instead of the RAID, which that would be nice, because I'm planning on probably doing a ZFS pool instead of a RAID eventually, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to flash it into IT mode first, so we're gonna have to look more into that. Anyways, we'll get out of this, maybe, and Control Delete. You may have noticed that I've taken the annoying rails off because these were sliding all around and in my way. They're nice to have, but if you're just going to have it sitting on a table, or in my case I'm going to be putting it into the server room. There's no rack or anything to put it in, but I'll just be sitting it on that cart. You can see it's loading up VMware ESXi. I think this is version 7.0.0. Like I said earlier, this is just the evaluation version because I don't have the money for ESXi. I just wanted to play with it, and it's not going to be what I'm going to be using 24/7 eventually when I get this working. So at some point I'll get a rack and I'll need these rails. I don't know if it's in the frame or not, but these rails here I'll probably be using when I get a rack, but I don't have one. You can see it detected that I'm using a Dell PowerEdge R620, and then it also detected the two Xeon E5-2640s. Like I said earlier, that's 12 cores total, I believe, and 192 gigabytes of memory, which is really nice, especially for virtual machines, which is definitely what this is going to be doing. I don't plan just installing Linux on this. I'll probably install Proxmox, which I've done a video on my old Proxmox server before, but this is what's going to be replacing that. So there you go, it's all booted up. We got the IP address there that I think is just DHCP. I didn't set it, but I set the iGRAC in here to a static IP address. Well, I think that's it for the overview of this server. I'll probably do more videos on this server once I get like Proxmox up and working on it, and maybe I'll do a video on my ESXi installation, because it took me a while to figure out how to get an iSCSI up and working. because this obviously doesn't have hard drives in it. But I'll probably reinstall ESXi on this SSD first, and then I'll show you guys. But I think that's it for now. Alex out.